Can you still buy a home in Tucson with zero down in 2025? Or is that just a myth from 10 years ago? Here's the truth. Yes, zero down is still alive, but it looks a little different than it used to. And if you know where to look, you can still buy a home in Tucson or Vail with little to nothing out of pocket. I'm Meagan, your AZ homegirl, and in this video, I'm breaking down exactly what zero down options still exist in today's market. We'll talk about VA loans, USDA loans, down payment assistance, and what it really takes to qualify. So, if you're a first-time buyer or you just want to buy smart, then this video is for you. So stick around because I'm going to share a bonus tip at the end that shows you how to lower your out-of-pocket costs even if you don't qualify for zero down. And if at any point you're thinking, I wonder if I qualify, just text me at 520-980-9880 for a zero down eligibility check, a lender intro, or my free buyer guide. So let's clear this up first. Zero down isn't dead. The old myth is that you always needed 20% down to buy a house. That's simply not true anymore. In Tucson today, buyers are using three main paths to get into homes with little or no money down. So the first one is a VA loan, 100% financing for eligible veterans and active duty military. There are also USDA loans available in rural eligible areas like Vail, Sahuarita, Corona, Tucson, and parts of Marana. And there are down payment assistance programs for first-time buyers who qualify by income and credit score. Now, here's the key. Each of these has a rule, a pro, and a con. I'm going to break them down one by one so you can see exactly which one fits your situation. And I'll sprinkle in real-life examples from buyers I've helped here in Southern Arizona. Because yes, I help people just like you every single month get into homes using these exact programs. So let's start with VA loans, because in my opinion, they're one of the absolute best tools in real estate. If you're active duty, a veteran, a surviving spouse, or in some cases, even part of the National Guard or reserves, you may actually qualify. With VA loans, you get 100% financing, meaning no down payment, no PMI, which is private mortgage insurance that can add hundreds to a monthly payment, and competitive interest rates and flexible credit requirements, and sometimes even reduced closing costs, especially when paired with seller or builder concessions. I have helped dozens of military families buy in Vail and Tucson using their VA benefits. For example, one family in Rita Ranch saved almost $12,000 over the first 5 years because they didn't have PMI on their loan. That's real money that went back into their pocket instead of their banks. And here's a big myth buster. Some sellers still think VA loans are harder or take longer to close. That used to be true years ago, but not anymore. With the right lender, a VA loan can close just as fast as a conventional. You don't have to be a farmer to use a USDA loan. This is one of the biggest misconceptions out there. The USDA defines rural eligible zones, and they're based on population, not whether you grow crops. In our area, that includes much of Vail, Sahuarita, Corona, Tucson, and some neighborhoods in Marana. But here's how it works. USDA loans offer 100% financing, zero down. They're designed for low to moderate income families. You'll need to meet income limits, which vary by household size. The property itself has to be in a USDA eligible zone. Now, if you're wondering, do I qualify? This is where I come in. I can quickly pull the USDA eligibility maps and show you exactly which neighborhoods qualify. One of my clients last year bought in Corona, Tucson with a USDA loan. They thought they couldn't afford anything because they didn't have $10,000 saved up. With USDA, They bought with zero down, and we negotiated closing cost help from the seller. They moved in with less than $1,500 out of their pocket total. That's the kind of opportunity people miss if they don't know USDA loans exist or how they work. Now, let's talk down payment assistance, also known as DPA. This is for buyers who aren't military and who might prefer to stay closer to the city core. Depending on your credit score and income, you may actually qualify for a grant-based DPA, which you don't have to pay back. There's also forgivable second lien programs where the loan is forgiven after a certain number of years. There's reduced closing cost options through specific lenders as well. The beauty of DPA is that it can sometimes be layered with other benefits, like a 3% down conventional loan, so you're not bringing any money out of pocket. Here's another myth buster. A lot of people think DPA programs are only for extremely low income families. That's not true. Many middle income earners in Tucson qualify and don't even realize it. One example, a nurse here in Tucson bought her first home last year with DPA. She made too much for USDA, wasn't military, but her credit score was strong. She qualified for the grant that covered her down payment, and the seller pitched in for her closing costs. Her total move-in costs, about $2,000. Without DPA, she would have needed closer to $12,000. So here's the reality. Even zero down, you'll usually still need to cover closing costs. That can be things like your lender fees, your title fees, and your prepaid taxes and insurance. But this is the part people don't always know. Sometimes we can negotiate for the seller or the builder to cover those costs. You'll also need a credit score, typically 620 or higher, income that supports the monthly payment, and stable job history. So yes, you can avoid a huge down payment, but still need to plan and prepare. This is where I come in, because I help people just like you get prepped with a lender, figure out what programs you qualify for, and structure an offer that really works. Here's the bonus tip that I promised. Even if you don't qualify for zero down programs, you can often combine a small down payment loan with closing cost help to get very close to zero out of pocket. For example, I recently worked with a first-time buyer in Sahuarita who used a 3% down conventional loan plus a local grant program. With seller concessions, they came to the table with less than $1,000. So even if you don't check every single box, don't assume zero down is off the table. There are creative solutions, and I help people just like you find them all the time. So if you've been putting off buying because you thought you need a huge down payment, you might not need to wait. Let's look at your options together. Text me at 520-980-9880 to check your zero down eligibility, get matched with a lender who can help, or download my free buyer guide and DPA cheat sheet. Like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone you know who's been waiting for the right time to buy. All of my links are in the description below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.